Welcome to the Best of the Monty Show 2023, presented by our friends at SoundSleepMedical.com. Before we get into it, I want to remind you, there's a big difference between snoring and sleep apnea. Every night in this country, people go to bed with sleep apnea and they never wake up because it stops you from breathing. You know, if you have sleep apnea and you wake up and you're, or your spouse wakes you up because you're snoring loudly and gasping for air, you don't have to do that anymore. You don't have to be embarrassed anymore. You don't have to sleep away from your wife or your husband. All you have to do is get to soundsleepmedical.com/Monty and sign up for their free sleep evaluation. No embarrassment. It's completely discreet. What they're going to do is tell you, hey, are you just somebody who snores or do you have sleep apnea? In any case, they're going to fit you for a custom mouthpiece that's going to move your lower jaw forward, clearing your airway so you can get that sleep you need. I'm begging you, do it right now, don't delay. Sleep apnea kills Americans every single night. Don't be the next one. Get to soundsleepmedical.com.
Treat snoring and sleep apnea with no masks and no tubes. Just better, healthier sleep with Sound Sleep Medical. Use code MONTY, M-O-N-T-Y, to schedule a free sleep assessment today.
The Monty Show.
I'm going to start with the NCAA tournament because holy cow, what a show was put on last night, including Gonzaga doing it to UCLA again. They did it to UCLA again.
Gonzaga.
Dirty ass beat down again.
Gonzaga.
And Mr. Two First Names and a terrible beard had nothing to do with it. Dude, I don't know how Gonzaga does it. I don't know. Frankly, I don't know how Mick Cronin didn't get fired before he got on the plane after destroying every one of his players.
It is what it is.
UCLA coach Mick Cronin last night, absolutely, we couldn't make a shot. We couldn't, and you know, Joey got savaged by you know, the officials under the basket with no whistle. But you know, if we'd have made a jump shot.
I like how he said savaged, as if, you know, the official like broke out a stick or something and beat him over the head with it. Like you know, yeah.
It was so good. It was so good. Mick Cronin is such a red ass. But I say that to say this has been a really good Sweet 16.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously we're 90 minutes away from tip-off of the Friday night Sweet 16 games. Stoked about that. Alabama. Roll Tide. Coming up in 90 minutes. But I think my personal opinion after watching pretty much all of these games go down in the last week, I think UConn's the best team left in the tournament. I think they should be the odds-on favorite. Now, having said that, of course they're not. They are not the odds-on favorite to win the tournament. No,
right.
Sir. That'd be Alabama.
Roll Tide.
Alabama, them gun-toting fools.
Roll Tide.
But have you guys loved the tournament? Has this been, are you guys, because this kind of fired me up. You know, you remember we talked about it going in.
Right.
I haven't loved the tournament. I wasn't excited about it. I don't have a bracket in anybody's pool or anything.
Right.
First time that I can ever remember not doing a bracket, but I feel like I feel like I'm rejuvenated now.
Yeah, I mean, last night was definitely, you know, I mean, definitely one of the best nights of college basketball I've seen in quite some time. And yeah, I think the way Gonzaga won that game is classic college basketball. I think that, yeah, UConn's playing really, really like thorough basketball right now. Their defense has been really good. They're playing efficient offense. They're not struggling to score. Like they're doing everything they need to do to win ball games. But this is kind of what I was talking about, though, you know, maybe, you know, 3 weeks ago or whatever, when we were talking about how college athletics doesn't really get my attention until we start getting into playoff season. And we're in the heat of that now. And I think you're starting to see the result. You know, like like with Gonzaga, if you go back to the aircraft carrier game as an example, that was an okay game. That wasn't some scintillating, you know, game, in my opinion. It was cool because it was on an aircraft carrier. But now it's like, all right, you know, you're coming down. You're basically having to make a game-winning shot right at the end, and it just is. It's everything you want as a college sports fan. So I felt like, you know, last night was definitely one of the best nights of college basketball that we've seen in a minute. And yeah, if you're a UCLA fan today, you're not feeling great. You're down in the dumps. You're waiting until next year. You know, you're probably pissed that this happened to you again.
But that's the word, again.
Yeah. You know.
Again.
Yeah.
How did Gonzaga get in that ass again.
Yeah.
Not like the exact same way. And my bigger question is, how do you let homie just stroll up to the logo and pop a
Gonzaga.
three? Like you get an incredible three-pointer off the wing, and then you just let dude kind of just take a handoff pass and drill a three.
Gonzaga.
And Mick Cronin wants to go and blame officiating because I guess that's a cool thing to do. I guess that's who we
the
are.
Easy thing to do.
And what I guess that's what we do is blame officials now. But you didn't knock down jumpers. You finally knock one down, and then you don't go and defend.
Yeah.
That's-
What did you think was going to happen?
Dude. And you look at the way the brackets look now. I mean, I don't know that this could have ended any worse for the Pac-10. Like, and if San Diego State today somehow beats Alabama,
Roll Tide.
if somehow Wales Vagina beats Roll Tide, I mean, this couldn't get any worse for the Pac-10.
It is what it is.
Right? It just can't get any worse.
Yeah.
Because now you're out of the tournament.
Yeah.
Not only that, is there anybody else? Is there anybody else who would like to stand and make the case that when your last name is Tang and you dance like this, your last name is Tang.
Let's go.
And you dance like this. Like, are you not the hippest coach in the country? A. B. Are you not dancing on the Pac-12's grave right now? Because you can't tell me part of this tournament isn't about Pac-12 versus Big 12. Because it absolutely is.
It's 100%.
And look at Tang getting that Tang, baby. Do the strut. Let's go. Like, how about that win last night? That was an incredible win last night.
Yeah, dude.
For K-State. I think this has just been everything that you want it to be. And then the elephant in the room, not me I'm talking about, but the elephant in the room is Gonzaga just waiting for this tournament to end. Because there's a lot of people, Jake, who think when this tournament ends, Gonzaga's going to the Big 12.
Gonzaga.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a pretty straightforward concept. Like, it makes sense. I mean, I think we even told you guys, week 10 days ago, like before the tournament started, that we wouldn't be surprised if, Gonzaga, made their exit to the Big 12 after the tournament was over in its entirety. Even if they were eliminated, they would wait for the tournament to conclude altogether. So, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at all. I think it's a classy thing to do. Wouldn't be surprised if Brett Yormark had handled it in a classy way, because that's kind of been his, modus operandi, if you will. You notice that he's always doing things the right way. He always seems to be in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing.
Yeah,
Sure. That's just who Brett is. And I think that, the Gonzaga would be a great fit for the Big 12, obviously. And it would be fun to see, I don't know the bracket well off the top of my head, but it would be fun to see them run into, a Big 12 opponent if that opportunity were to be presented to them.
Wow.
I think that would be that. I think college basketball fans would be all over that, because I don't think it's lost on anybody that they're probably going to the Big 12.
Yeah, I think if you look at what that matchup would look like, my God, can you imagine a K-State Gonzaga final?
Yeah, I mean, that would be incredible, dude.
By the way, they're not getting past UConn, because I'm a believer that UConn is the best team left in the tournament. But to have K-State and Gonzaga run into each other in that side of the bracket, the East-West side of the bracket would be incredible.
Yeah.
Would be incredible.
Yep.
I mean, by the way, do you have where are you at tonight? Like Bama or San Diego State?
I'm taking Bama, but I think that it's going to be a grinder. I think that I'm a big believer that when you have a team in Bama who is really talented, and you're facing kind of a grinder team, a defensive team, a physical team in San Diego State, like ultimately, if that talented team, the more talented team executes and is just able to simply not turn the ball over, don't give San Diego State more opportunities than they're already going to get, you're probably going to win the game. I mean, and that's why I say, like, you look at, whether you want to look at the K-State game or like Michigan State really struggled to execute, to play their game. And there was some turnovers and some things they probably would want to have back. Like, if Alabama can just come out and play their game, they're going to be fine. But that's what teams like San Diego State do to you. They put you in tough positions and see how you react.
Well, Quinterly and Miller, I mean, obviously against Maryland, I think we saw what Quinterly is capable of. And I think we all know what Brandon Miller is as a player. So, yeah, I would agree with you. But I think this San Diego State team, they're a team of destiny, bro. They're not. But they're not going to lay down. San Diego State's a legit club, and I'm excited about it. I'm here for it. I'm fired up about it.
Right.
And that's kind of where I would go. Outside the echo chamber, gets the first volley today. Need Alabama to lose. Everyone left in my group has them winning it all. Well, there you go.
Hey.
There you go. That absolutely is one. Christopher Shannon says Texas Gonzaga in the Final Four.
That's what I'm talking about.
By the way, you're speaking of Texas. Kevin Durant back on Wednesday for the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah.
Jeremy Callahan says Gonzaga got smoked by Texas earlier this year.
Mm-hmm.
They did. CJ Vance says dang gonads. Okay, look, dude, you should go to the doctor. I mean, if your gonads hurt, it is what it is.
I think that's HIPAA.
You know. Two Masta says incredibly ballsy shot from midcourt. Seriously. But just to let homie stroll into it.
Yeah, walk into it in rhythm.
And you were never going to let Drew Timmy beat you in that game.
Nope.
On the final
But I
possession.
think that's the brilliance of that final possession. I mean, you put yourself in a position where you know that they're going to be highlighting Drew Timmy, and you know that he's not going to be available to you on that play, and so you're just like, all right, cool. Like, you know, we're gonna let homie walk up and walk right into the shot and take a shot he's comfortable with. And he made it. And by the way, I also think this conversation about how during the timeout in the huddle, he wanted the ball and he wanted to take that shot, I think that's a big deal. I think he deserves a lot of credit for that, because we talk all the time, whether it's basketball or football or whatever, baseball and the World Baseball Classic, like there are guys who want the ball and guys who don't. And he wanted the ball and he stepped up and made the shot.
Yeah, I also think the thing I'm worried about with San Diego State, they're 0-2 against top 25s. They do only give up 64 points a game. I don't see Alabama scoring their typical 80 points tonight. Like, I don't see that happening, but I don't know. If I had to pick the bracket, I would probably lean Alabama and Creighton. I would lean Houston and, man, I hate Xavier. I don't hate Xavier. I hate their coach. I would probably lean Houston and Texas. And can you guys imagine if Houston and Texas go head-to-head in the Midwest?
Epic.
Oh, my God.
Epic.
I would have to take Texas. I'd have to take Alabama to beat Creighton. And then I'd have to take Texas to beat Alabama. So I think you're looking at Alabama, and I have to believe that Gonzaga and K-State advance.
Yeah.
I just feel there's something about Gonzaga. I think UConn's a really good team. That's the game of the tournament, in my opinion, that's left. This Gonzaga game tomorrow night, it's about 10 minutes to 7 o'clock.
Gonzaga.
Dude, Gonzaga, UConn is going to be a war.
Yeah.
And I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I am absolutely here for it. I cannot wait to see it.
Yeah.
I'm all about that. So I'm really looking forward to it. Bob Holsey says, roll criminal tide.
Yes.
Yes. See, like not crimson, criminal tide.
Criminal, right.
The guns.
Right.
It's the guns and stuff.
Right.
Christopher Shannon says sweaty. No, I'm not saying his name.
No.
I am not.
You can drive your ass back to the comment section.
You guys remember that when Sweaty Sean was like neck deep in FBI wiretaps in Tucson? And somebody in the media was asking him about that. You can drive your ass back to Phoenix. Okay, cool, man. We won't ever talk about you. Oh, you got fired. We don't have to. Thanks, Dick. All right, bye. You know.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yep.
I agree. Big Jack 512. Houston and Texas will be epic.
Yes.
Yes, it will.
Yes.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. And I root against any team with Sean Miller as the head coach.
Yes.
I absolutely
in opposition.
do. I just, it is what it is. Wow. Comment dump. Jeremy Callahan says UConn is going to beat the Zags.
Gonzaga.
Okay. Hey man, I hope you are 100% correct.
Yeah.
New member. Let's go.
Let's go.
PA Bearcat in the hizzy.
Do we need to talk about the comment section today and some of the proactive measures we took?
It is. Today, comment section is. We had a lot of trolling yesterday, and a lot of you reached out and complained about it. So we wanted to make sure that you guys were protected. And so today, comments are members only. And Jake doesn't like it, but I'm really leaning towards leaving it that way in perpetuity. So that if you want to comment, you're going to have to pay for it. Because yesterday, one of the people who regularly donates memberships was upset that one of the trolls who rolled in yesterday kept making new accounts and claiming free memberships.
That guy's definitely a douche.
So how do we take care of that? Well, what we do is we make it members only.
Yeah.
That's how we take care of that. So that's exactly why today it's members only. Jay Washington says, love the title. Made me believe it's official for a second. Quality, quick clickbait.
Hey, man.
Hey, Jay, we try. By the way,
execution.
what percentage would you put on Gonzaga joining the Big 12?
80%.
80%?
Yeah, 80%. I think it's done. I just don't know why you wouldn't at this point. I don't know why you wouldn't. I think, for someone like Gonzaga, it just makes perfect sense. It's logical. You're going to make more money. You're going to get a more difficult schedule, but I think one that makes you better, I don't know. It just makes sense. Get to a P5. Get to, greener pastures,
I agree.
man.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's really all there is to it.
Yeah, I think one of the more interesting questions that I have about it, frankly, is what is your value position if you are Gonzaga? Well, obviously it's basketball, but I think we very clearly heard that it's going to be all Gonzaga sports, which I think it should be, by the way. So I'm curious what that looks like for Gonzaga. I'm curious because it's a small school. Gonzaga is not a big school. So I'm curious what that does financially, because obviously you're going to make more money on basketball alone than you are in all of your other sports. By the way, Gonzaga does not have a football team. So I think that's an interesting question about what the value situation is, what the value position for Gonzaga is, bringing all of their sports.
Right.
But I think it's a natural fit. I would put it at 95% that Gonzaga is going to join. We reported exclusively on the show, and everybody told us we don't know what we're talking about, and we're alone in the world when we said that the Big 12 had verbally invited Gonzaga, and people are like, there's no such thing.
Gonzaga.
Au contraire. There's that's the first part of the process.
Yes.
And Brett Yormark has his ducks in a row. There's no doubt it is a rubber stamp process from here on out to get Gonzaga in if they choose to join, if they accept that invitation, which I believe that they will. I think there's no reason. I think it's a no-brainer that they will join. So I would put it at 95%, Jake, that Gonzaga joins the Big 12.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I have no doubt. And I only say 80% just because, you never know timing. You never know. Like, our specific question is, will they join right, at the conclusion of the tournament this year? And I think it may not be the very next day, but I think it will be, shortly thereafter that they do. And I think that, again, like I said, it's a good fit. It makes sense. Like
it's a great fit.
It's beneficial for Gonzaga. It's beneficial for the Big 12. I also think adding Gonzaga benefits all your member institutions you have now. The BYUs of the world are going to benefit from that. The Baylors and the Kansases and the K-States, they're all going to benefit from having yet another quality basketball program in the conference. And by the way, I love seeing head coaches like Jerome Tang at K-State talk about the fact that, hey,
his last name is Tang.
Tang! We are the best basketball conference in the land. We do have multiple Hall of Fame coaches in our conference. And, yeah, I am appreciative of the opportunity to coach alongside them. That's what I think Brett Yormark has created. When you have the quality, it makes it much easier to be successful. And I think Gonzaga just adds to that quality.
Yeah, and I also think if you look at the way that Gonzaga fits into a league as a basketball only, I think it was McKenna Tech Dan who asked about, there he is right there. McKenna Tech Dan, do you think Gonzaga ever fields a football team, or would there be rules about forming one? I don't think they would. I don't know what the rules or regulations on that would be, but there would be no reason for them to do that, because I also think that they are going to expand the Big 12 exponentially over the next decade. And as far as basketball only goes, and I think I wouldn't be surprised. I haven't been told this or heard this directly, but all the buzz about St. John's joining the Big 12 would not surprise me at all.
Yeah,
because it's a natural fit. You look at the Rucker Park partnership, that's not accidental. That is a deliberate, very directed move that I think is brilliant. It puts you into the heart of the basketball community in this country. I think it's only a matter of time before the Big 12 continues on this edict that Brett Yormark has put out that we're going to monetize basketball. We're going to do everything that we can do to make as much money as we can on things like the tournaments, the conference championship tournament in Kansas City with all the hip hop and with all of the entertainment. It's a destination event, and he's just going to keep building on that.
Yeah.
And by the way, I also think Kansas City's not accidental. There's a reason the Big 12's not in Las Vegas, because Kansas City has its own unique culture. And I think when you talk about, you know, the music scene in Kansas City, you talk about the food scene and the barbecue scene, you talk about the diversity that is Kansas City, it is a perfect place to hold a college basketball tournament. And I think when you talk about bringing in, then let's say it is Gonzaga from the West and St. John's from the East or UConn from the East, whatever it might be, you bring in brands like that and you start putting a conference together that now is deeper, stronger, and more ready to compete financially on a national scale. I mean, there's just no downside to that because, frankly, it doesn't cost you that much money out of pocket because you're making 2-3 times that in return. Even if it's just on brand awareness, even if it's just on goodwill, you're making money every time you do something like Rucker Park.
Yeah.
So I think it's a stroke of genius. I really do. I think that when you look at where this conference is and you look at what this conference is going to, again, I just don't know. I don't know how you could go wrong. I mean, it's not the slam dunk that TryDayTrading.com's $10 30-day trial membership is, but it's close. Okay, cool. TryDayTrading.com. Come on, that was amazing.
It was amazing.
That was amazing.
Yeah, that was really well done.
TryDayTrading.com is where you need to go. I'm telling you, day trading is absolutely a money-making proposition right now. And I know a lot of people are scared or, you know, have a little trepidation about jumping into the market in these volatile times, but that's exactly why you're a day trader. You're not going for a long ride on an Amazon. You're not going for a long ride on a Tesla or a General Motors, any of those big stocks that you hang on to for the long term. You're looking to make money on a daily basis. And when you do it with TryDayTrading.com, they're going to teach you. It's educational. They're going to give you the knowledge. They're going to let you use their information sources, their data points. They're going to show you how to use their system to make money day trading. And when you're ready to start trading, you're going to make your first trades with TryDayTrading.com's money, and they're going to give you 80% of the profit on your trades. That's incredible. And oh, by the way, when you're done and you're through their program, they're still going to mentor you. They're going to be a resource for you now that you're a professional day trader. You can go back and talk to their coaches. You can go back and talk to their mentors. It's a relationship that makes you money. And by the way, people asked me last night, hey, you can't tell me it's legitimately $1,000 a day. People who have gone through the Tri-Day trading program that day trade on a full-time basis are making $1,000 or more every day in the market. Because what a lot of people don't understand is the stock market is a leverage opportunity. There are trades every day that make you thousands of dollars. If you want to do it as a side hustle, make hundreds of dollars. But all of this happens for just one $10 investment. That's all you have to do. Take your first step, spend $10 that they're going to give to charity, so it's a tax write-off. It's your education, so it's a tax write-off. What do you have to lose?
Yes.
Spend $10 to change the rest of your life. TryDayTrading.com. Make sure you click Monty, The Monty Show in the drop-down menu. Let them know that you heard about it on our show.
The Monty Show.
The Monty Show is always presented by The Advocates. TheAdvocates.com, UtahAdvocates.com. I know that you guys, you know, we're all out, we're all active. We unfortunately saw a bunch of accidents this weekend. And it's a tough time to be out there. It was great to see all of our law enforcement on the roads trying to keep us all safe, but the inevitable is going to happen every day in this country. You're going to get in an accident. You're going to fall off your bike. You're going to get hit while riding your motorcycle. You need to have a plan of action. When you know that something is a good possibility, and I mean, bless you if you're out there riding a motorcycle, a bicycle, a scooter. At some point, you're going to get hit on that bike or you're going to fall off that bike. You got to have a plan. The Advocates at theadvocates.com, UtahAdvocates.com, that's your plan. because the thing that separates the advocates is their experience. And what that experience means to you is peace of mind. You can trust that the advocates have seen your case before, because nothing that comes their way is surprising. Nothing that comes their way is unknown, because they have years, decades, and decades of experience with attorneys that are experienced in your particular case. They have the best accident injury attorneys. They have the best workman's comp attorneys. If you're fighting for Social Security or entitlements for your family, your grandmother, your mom, your dad, they have attorneys who have fought all of those cases, and they fought them well. So much to the point where you never come out of pocket to pay the advocates. You don't pay the advocates unless and until they win your case at theadvocates.com, utahadvocates.com. Click on a button on their website. You can chat with an attorney live online for free. Theadvocates.com, utahadvocates.com. Make sure you tell them you heard about it on the Monty Show. Joey Zay says, hit the like button. Yes, absolutely. Hit the like button. We try to get to 200 likes every show. We're at 145. We've had well over 2,000 views on the show today. If you could hit the like button, that would be amazing. Ron McClure, LOL, all of Arizona is daylight. Don't be crazy. We're still arguing over the time in Arizona.
Ron, how are you so confused? Arizona is not in daylight savings time, bro.
I love it. I love it. Nick M says Hawaii does not follow daylight savings time either. Okay. Okay. If somebody could just run down the spit that I just threw out, if somebody could run down the where the time changes in the country, and Rick Forrester says it's 5:02 in God's country.
Okay.
Jeremy Callahan, is there some airbrush stylized Mandalorian artwork on that shirt?
No.
It's funny you say airbrushed. I don't know. I mean, I don't know that we're trying to hide it. How about I just hold my phone up? How about I just hold my phone up? Come on, man. Look at the artwork on the exclusive Monty Show shirt.
Yeah, dude.
That you get when you go to the game with us. That's amazing. That's going to be
amazing.
Amazing.
Yep.
Not only that, but the fact that I'm the one kicking the ball and Jake's trying to make the save is amazing to me.
Yes.
That is amazing to me.
Yeah.
It's awesome. All right. Let's recap our day in news for you, because I know a lot of you are just tuning into the show. There have been reports, and we have been able to confirm reports for you. First of all, we reported on March 3rd that we were told by sources that Gonzaga had a verbal invite. Hey, we'd like you to come and join the conference. Let's get through the process. All right, that's what we reported. Go back. It's on the channel. You can go and see it.
Gonzaga.
Well, lo and behold, Ross Dellinger at Sports Illustrated reported yesterday, I believe it was, that, hey, look at that. Yormark began conversations with the school several months ago as part of his pursuit to expand the conference and add value to what is already the country's strongest college basketball league. Gonzaga basketball is a national powerhouse under Coach Mark Few, making 8 Sweet 16 appearances since 2015.
Oh.
So Brett Yormark began speaking with the Big 12 several months ago. And we reported that on March 3rd. So multiple reports now nationally have confirmed what we reported in March, that the Big 12 and Gonzaga University are University of Gonzaga? Gonzaga
why,
University.
Why? See,
it's
first it was
Gonzaga. I like Gonzaga.
Gonzaga.
Stop it. You're being... See, you are stirring the pot of hate and distrust.
Well, you know, I just want to switch topics from what time it is to how you say Gonzaga.
Well, don't forget we're defaming Gonzaga by calling them Gonzaga, apparently.
That's right.
In opposition.
You know, my point is, oh, God, they updated my handicap.
Treat snoring and sleep apnea with no masks and no tubes. Just better, healthier sleep with Sound Sleep Medical. Use code Monty, M-O-N-T-Y, to schedule a free sleep assessment today.
Well, wait, what?
Man, we ain't doing it. I can't. My heart hurts already. Anyway, the point is that I think we are well down the road of seeing significant change in college athletics when it comes to realignment. We showed you the statement from Dave Hickey, the athletic director at Arizona, who, when asked about this conference and a move into a new phase, we'd like to be with the Pac-12 and continue the great tradition of the conference, but if not, there will be a new landscape and a new opportunity for the University of Arizona.
So that's one.
And then you just continue and you hear from Rick George, the athletic director at Colorado, who says, we got to do what's best for the Buffs.
We're members of the Pac-12. We're proud members of the Pac-12, and we've got to see where our media rights deal lands and where our conference goes. And in a perfect world, we'd love to be in the Pac-12, and but we also have to do what's right for Colorado at the end of the day, and we'll evaluate things as we move forward.
Oh.
So that's two.
You're hearing this on a regular basis now. You're hearing about these athletic directors and administrators who know that there is a struggle and it is real. And you know what? You go back to this idea that we haven't heard from George Kliavkoff for 6 months. 7 months.
You haven't heard him do media since basketball media or football media days.
I think it's basketball media day in October when he sat up and talked about, USC and UCLA students, and haven't heard from one person who's in favor of the move. And I just think it's been a difficult stretch of PR for the Pac-12. And you hear somebody like Ray Anderson, the athletic director at Arizona State, talking about how he's confident. And I go back to, Kirk Schultz at Washington State, talking about, hey, you know what? The optics right now are bad for a TV company or a broadcast company to announce a deal with the Pac-12.
Why is it dragged on so long?
I think it's just the environment. It's the uncertainty in the economy, the layoffs in the tech sector and other places. I mean, look at the major media companies have almost all laid off people, and so have some of the major players in the tech sector. And I know at least one of the partners we were talking to said, we're ready to sign today. But the optics of us announcing that we're laying off X number of people and we signed, this multi-million-dollar deal with the Pac-12 are just simply not the best. So we're going to have to wait 6 weeks. Now, I'm not sure if 6 weeks make that much difference or whatever your time frame is, but clearly the optics was something that those groups are really worried about.
Oh, dude.
So wait. Wait. Is this not like someone saying, yeah, I was just busy tonight. Sorry, I couldn't make it. The optics are bad for ESPN, and then they go and sign Pat Mack for $150 million? Dude, get the hell out of here with this, dude. Like this guy. And look, Washington State, great program, great university, nothing to do with the university. Kirk Schultz is off his rocker if he thinks ESPN gives a damn, and really Disney gives a damn about optics, because they don't care, dude. They will leave the state of Florida. They will sign Pat McAfee. They will do it all. They don't care, man. They don't. It's beyond me that this guy continues to run that narrative out there.
Yeah, and I think the particular hard part is that the momentum is just never returned since USC and UCLA left. And now you hear all these reports about Colorado, and you hear all of these reports about Gonzaga and the Four Corner schools, and you're throwing out all these words. But the thing that I think you have to ask yourself is, how did we get here? And what is it going to take to save the Pac-12? And again, I think the last couple of weeks, we've all started to come to the side of, I don't think there is saving the Pac-12. We've heard that the morale is low. We've heard that, the energy at the meetings in Scottsdale were exceptionally low, and there was no excitement. And I mean, it just continues this snowballing effect of, hey, this is a problem right now. And I don't think there's coming back from this. I truly do not. And I don't think you're going to get one team that's going to jump. I think what you're going to see is, if a Pac-12 team is to leave the Pac-12 for the Big 12, it's going to be a group of teams that are going to leave the Pac-12 for the Big 12. I think that's how this is going to play out. And I think we are not anymore inching towards that. I think we are leaping and bounding towards that. Because, again, we've heard repeatedly, hey, they know the number. They know the players. They're not able to meet the bar. And so they continue in the Pac-12 to push to try and meet that minimum bar, which we've heard all along, hey, it's $25 million.
Right.
I've heard that all along for a long time now. And I just don't think there's ever a way forward when your leader, who in this case is George Kliavkoff, doesn't have control of the people around him. And when you hear about Oregon and Washington, being vetted and cleared, well, that tells you that a significant member of that conference and President Kase at Washington has had deep, long conversations with the Big Ten. That hurts because President Kase, whether you like Washington or you have to respect the job she's done, and she has not said 2 words this entire time. We've asked her repeatedly to join us. They have not said 2 words about it, right? And it's because you're in a situation where you're at a tipping point in this conference. Mm-hmm. The wrong word pushes you in the wrong direction. And I think people like President Kase at Washington understand that. And I think people like Gonzaga understand that. I think people like the WCC understand that. I think people like Brett Yormark understand that, which is why you don't see him out on every corner with a sign up in the air inviting Pac-12 schools. I think we've heard about how the Big Ten doesn't want to be the killer of the Pac-12. Like, people care about their reputations. People care about decorum. And the other thing I would say, and especially at universities like Gonzaga, especially at Pac-12 universities where academics is far beyond athletics. It's far more important. You have people who respect decorum. They respect ethics. They respect the way that business is done. So they're not just going to come out and speak out of turn. To me, it's just truly, truly, truly important that this gets done the right way. Because I think there are billions of dollars on the line. So, look, maybe I make too much out of it. Keaton Critchlow says that logo is fire. That logo is fire. And what he's talking about is our T-shirt logo for our event at Real Salt Lake versus NYCFC, June 10th. We are just now 11 days away. It's a week from this Saturday. And all you have to do is go to Big O Tires and American Fork. You guys, they have worked on my car. They did a great job with my tint, oil change. They have done so much work on the Jeep Grand Cherokee, and they've just done a really good job every single time. You take your car, and whether it's for tires, whether it's for, a tune-up and oil change, an alignment, they do great brake jobs at American Fork Big O Tires, right? Anything you need, they can handle it on your car. You can trust them because it's a local business. Ryan, who's the owner of Big O Tires and American Fork, is a local businessman, providing for his family, giving back to his community. That's what is, in my opinion, that's the essence of a great local business. That's what Big O Tires and American Fork is all about. You go in there, you spend $1, just get an oil change. We have 3 spots left. 3 spots. If by Friday, 3 people haven't gone in and gotten oil changes or tires or brakes, hey, we're going to announce 3 people who went to Super Chicks in Ogden on Riverdale Road or St. George, because we've had so many people understand the greatness of the Super Chicks sandwich.
Yes.
So many people.
And you know that you should be getting the Bacavo. I mean, you know that. It's the best sandwich. It's not even close.
Don't start.
We all know that.
Don't start.
So,
trust me when I say you don't want to light the fire, but I'm just telling you, this shirt is going to be amazing, and the only way to get it, there it is right there. The only way to get it, that's the T-shirt you get when you join us at Real Salt Lake versus NYCFC next Saturday. It's a week from this Saturday, and it's going to be awesome. And there's only 15 of those shirts being made. Get to Big O Tire and American Fork or Super Chicks in Ogden and St. George. All you have to do is say, hey, Monty, here's my receipt. Hey, here's a picture of my chicken sandwich at Super Chicks on Riverdale Road in Ogden or in St. George. What's up in the GZ? Or go get an oil change. Go buy a set of tires. Go get your brakes done. Go get your tint done at Big O Tires in American Fork and Super Chicks on Riverdale Road in Ogden or in St. George. They are your presenting sponsors of our RSL NYCFC giveaway. And by the way, did I mention we're going to be in the Zag Club for that game?
So good.
It's going to be so much fun.
Zag Club, on-field experience, like.
Yep, it is. You're going to get it's a gourmet buffet, all you can eat and drink, alcohol's excluded. We're going to take you onto the field for pregame warm-ups with RSL. Like, it's going to be an amazing experience. You get one of only 15 T-shirts being made. It's going to be awesome, and all you have to do is go to Super Chicks on Riverdale Road in Ogden. You can get a Bacavo if you want. It's fresh avocado. Everything there is made fresh.
Bomb.
I tell you to get the deluxe because the pickles, the onions, the tomato, the lettuce, they're all chopped every day in-house.
Yes.
Or go get your brakes or oil done at Big O Tires and American Fork. Jeff Johnson, Geoff, how the heck are you doing?
Dude, Geoff, where
Good
you
to see
been, bro?
Gives
I know
us
you've been
$2
injured.
to say just the tip.
Cock.
Okay. Drew Christensen says the Bacavo is the best sandwich at Super Chicks.
Let's go, Drew. That's my guy right
Drew,
there.
you say hurtful things, Drew.
Let's go.
You say hurtful things.
Now, Drew, you get a chance to prove yourself here. Mountain time or Pacific time, bro? What time you on right now?
Stop.
Don't mess it up.
Stop.
Do not mess it up.
Bob Holsey, but none of the Pac schools want to leave the conference except Oregon, Washington. But see, you say they want to leave. None of them want to leave.
Yeah.
None of them want to leave.
People
None of
don't
them.
understand this. Don't get this confused. Want versus need. Nobody wants to leave. They would prefer to stay. But
I
they
think
will.
it's exactly what Rick George said. If we had our preference, we would stay in the Pac-12.
Yeah.
But we have to do what's best for Colorado, and that means exploring our options.
You know, we're members of the Pac-12. We're proud members of the Pac-12, and you know, we've got to see where our media rights deal lands and where our conference goes. And you know, in a perfect world, we'd love to be in the Pac-12, and but we also have to do what's right for Colorado at the end of the day. And you know, we'll evaluate things as we move forward.
Yeah, I don't think any of these schools, if you handed them $40 million, they would be like, yeah, great, let's do it. Hand them $25 million, I think they'd be like, great, let's do it.
Yeah.
But I don't think he can get to that number. And you hear somebody like Rick George talking about being a proud member of the Pac-12. He has no reason to go out of his way to say that. He has no reason to go out of his way to say that.
Yeah.
Like, what does he gain by saying we're proud members? What does he gain by that? I don't think he gains anything. And I think when you look at, you look at Dave Hickey from Arizona, he said the exact same thing. The exact same thing. You know, that certainly the hope, who knows, whenever you print the results, but we'd like to be with the Pac-12 and continue the great tradition.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
You notice the messaging is all the same.
Everybody has said, why would they go out of their way to say that? Because I don't think I know they wanna be there. Truck Stop Gumby, I'm a proud member of the Monty Showroom.
Hey,
Damn right, Truck
let's
Stop
go,
Gumby.
Truck Stop.
Drew Christensen says Mountain Time.
Thank you, Drew. Good job,
Thank you.
dude. Good job.
I'm proud of you, Drew. You've grown up a lot in this world and stuff. Jimmy says no one wants to leave the Pac-12. Every team would go to the Big for the money. No one wants to have to go to the Big 12. No one wants to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they will.
You know. They will. Let's see. Gary, Mark Harlan surely has to be let go for his L takes after we join the 12. Well, I'm curious what happens. I am curious what happens with Utah. Mark Harlan, the athletic director at Utah, in response to John Kurz, who said the Pac-12 had a standalone game on Friday night, with huge playoff implications, their biggest brands playing, and was almost $3.5 million behind two non-OU Texas Big 12 teams. To which Mark Harlan, the athletic director, tweeted, "We are not leaving." And that was in December, right? And then he also says, "Give me a break," to Dennis Dodd on March 9th. Big 12 ready to pounce on four corner schools as doubts creep in about the Pac-12's viability. That was on March 9th. And he said, "Give me a break."
I'm sure Mark Harlan's a great guy.
He is, and he's a really good administrator.
And yeah, I'm sure he's great at his job. You know,
He is.
Utah is in a great position, having a lot of success, by the way, in all types, track and field, softball. Like, they've got all kinds of stuff happening in athletics, doing amazing work. Honestly, genuinely, they are. But I think that in December, there was a lot of frustration in the conference with people at Mark Harlan's level and above. We saw it at multiple institutions. There was a lot of that type of sentiment. And I think that unfortunately, this is the direction the conversation's gone. And again, I'm not going to sit here and rip Mark Harlan for tweeting that stuff. Did I disagree at the time? Yeah. I don't think it's a good use of his time to be on Twitter saying those kind of things, or like just participating in the conversation that way. But that's not really my business. He's going to do what he wants to do, and I'm fine with that. But ultimately, like, again, I will die on this hill. Utah's a valuable brand to the Pac and to the Big 12. Utah can win the Big 12 in football right now. Like, don't get confused on this. They can beat TCU right now, right here, right now. So to me, when I look at that, yeah, are the running Utes good? No, they're not good. If you were in the Big 12, I guarantee you they'd get better more quickly, right? They'd have a reason
access to
get
more
better,
talent,
right? Like, you would have access to more talent
because
I
think that's an incredible point.
Yeah.
Because what's not happening in the Pac-12 right now?
You're not recruiting.
You're not recruiting.
You're not doing anything.
How are you recruiting for 2024 and beyond right now in the Pac-12? Football, basketball, women's softball, tennis, pickleball, skiing, your mom, like, how are you recruiting?
You think Deion's recruiting on the current TV deal? Because I can tell you right now, he's not. I believe, and this is just my opinion, not sourced information, just totally my opinion. I believe that Deion's recruiting on a story he's telling about going to the Big 12. I would agree with that. I don't think that you behave the way he's behaved in the transfer portal, and you are this far out there with video content and being that aggressive with sharing the message, if you weren't confident that you were going to a better situation, that if you weren't like, hey, rubber stamp this thing, we're going somewhere better.
That's right.
There's no way that kids would be coming to his team in the amount that they are if they didn't have something to look forward to. So that's why I say, again, that's my opinion, but I just have a tough time believing the guy rolled over his entire roster recruiting on the Pac-12's lack of a TV deal. Like, I just can't. That just doesn't compute.
I just don't know. Gary, I think that's a really thoughtful comment. I wonder how damaging is Pac-12 unity right now.
Treat snoring and sleep apnea with no masks and no tubes. Just better, healthier sleep with Sound Sleep Medical. Use code Monty, M-O-N-T-Y, to schedule a free sleep assessment today.
I'm curious, what are you saying behind closed doors? What are you saying to recruits? Because it's out there on message boards, it's out there on Twitter that recruits are being told, hey, we're not going to be, could be in a different conference. QT, don't tell anybody. Could
under the radar.
Different, yeah. Under the truck stop conference.
Yes, under the Flying J we'll meet.
Just under the truck stop conference. Look up, if there's airplanes, we stayed in the Pac-12. If there's trucks going by, we're in the Big 12.
Okay? I guess that's Pac-10.
Look for the flyover conference.
Yeah.
Okay? All right, we should stop. Jimmy, Oregon is recruiting right now, but on what? On the Big 10, the Big 12, the Pac-12? Like, how are they recruiting? I think it's a really interesting question. How is that happening? Conundrum? Come along for the ride, Deion says. Come along for the ride. I think that's, conundrum? You ain't wrong. Jeremy Callahan. We want to be in the Pac-12 no matter how bad the impact financially on the university. How are they okay to just do that?
Well, I don't think they're okay to just do that. I don't.
But
right?
is that just like, coach speak? Is that just politics? Because I can't imagine. You can't tell me that Taylor Randall at Utah is like, yeah, the Mountain West, we're old friends.
No.
Hey, Gloria, it's Taylor Randall. Like, you can't. You don't operate like that.
Okay, listen. Taylor Randall is not sitting here not caring about where his athletic program is going. That's not. It's just not how the guy operates. I mean, I'm telling you, when you've got a legacy head coach in your football program like Kyle Whittingham, and you have history in other areas of your athletic department, and you see an opportunity, because I firmly believe, and I've always said this, whether we're talking educators or athletic directors, I've always said this: these people aren't stupid. These people didn't get to this level in life by being dumb, right? Like, these are really intelligent people who know how to operate. Now, is there a conversation around educators and board of regents type people being out of the loop on how powerful streaming is, or the fact that YouTube is the largest video platform in the world? Yes, there's a conversation around that. But I don't think there's a conversation around the fact that they can look at a P&L sheet and know that the Big 12, the schools in the Big 12, when it's all said and done, are going to make $50 million with the TV deal and playoffs and everything combined. At the end of the day, they're going to make $50+ million. And right now in the pack, you're going to make 30 if you're lucky. No, that's not confusing. That's not difficult to understand. 50 is bigger than 30.
That's
right?
easy math.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, for folks like Taylor Randall, it's really quite simple to understand. The difficult part, and this is the thing that people hate to hear, is that the money that Utah makes educationally and that some of these other schools make educationally far surpasses what athletics will ever do. And they have to consider that. So Utah, or let's say Colorado, is never just going to go alone. Colorado is not going to get on the U-Haul truck and drive out there alone. They're going to do it in a package deal.
Are you sure?
And Utah would be the same. Like, I love this concept. People are like, hey, Colorado and Prime, they're going to pack up the team bus and they're going out there alone. No, they're not, man.
They're not.
There's a plan. I'm telling you.
I think the relationships in the conference are too tight. I think guys like Rick George and Mark Harlan, these relationships are not, some of these guys are not best friends, but they certainly work well together. Mm-hmm. They like working together on an institutional level. There would be no reason. I just can't see these guys laying around. I don't know, man. It'll be very interesting. It'll be very interesting to see how all this plays out. Very interesting. Cam Harrison, what's up with you? Says, good afternoon, guys. Good to see you. Dick the Bruiser says, Utah football is Major League of Football.
Agreed.
I don't disagree with that at all. Victor's the way. Cougar Tracks, we're all meeting at the Y, the center of the universe. But you know what the interesting thing is? Isn't Utah out recruiting against BYU? Especially in the footprint near and adjacent to Utah?
Yeah.
And who's got a more stable future? Well, BYU does.
Yeah.
Even if you're talking about, serving missions or honor codes or any of the usual slander that gets tossed at BYU.
Right.
But we're in the Big 12. We're on major TV. We're playing in major games. We have better access to the college football playoff, like all of those things.
Yeah.
Now, did that stop Isaac Wilson from going to Utah? It did not. It did not. So my guess is Utah is recruiting with a plan.
Yeah.
There's nothing about Kyle Whittingham that's like, let's just try this one out.
Well, what's the difference? The true difference, if you're a player, right? Just strictly if you're a player, which program gives you the more direct route to winning a national championship right now? Utah. It's not even a conversation. Love you, BYU. Love BYU. Utah is a fast track to a national championship when you compare the two.
Right now.
Yeah. Now, 5 years from now, I don't know. Where does Utah land?
I don't know the answer to that
question. If Utah goes to the Big 12, they're playing for a national championship inside of 5 years, in my opinion.
Matt Ritson says, Pac-12 commissioner looks stupid on TV during the Pac-12 baseball tournament. Work hard, can't find a good TV deal for the school. I just think it's very difficult if you're George Kliavkoff to look good right now. Mm-hmm. There's no right answers. There's no right narratives. There's nothing you can say that's going to turn things around. They're not.
I think there's one thing. Like I've always said, I think you could turn this thing on its head. And if you could get buy-in from your schools to go out and sell their own TV sponsorships and do all that, I think that's a very attractive offer because it puts control back into folks like Taylor Randall and Mark Harlan's hands, right? Like it puts Rick George back in the driver's seat for how his school is going to make money. So I think that's the one thing that you could do that could potentially save the conference. But this whole grant of rights situation just is archaic. It's not. It just doesn't work anymore.
Yep, I agree. Eddie Stoss says, Jake, you're stupid. You know the Natty runs through the SEC. The dynasty is not over.
The dynasty is not over. Kiss my butt.
SEC, not SLC.
Roll Tide.
See, I love the arrogance of the SEC. We're the best.
Nick Saban is a better man than you are.
We're the best.
How dare you?
Georgia. Kirby Smart.
Yeah. I don't disagree that the Natty in football runs to the SEC.
Now?
Yeah.
Right now.
But what I'm saying is that give Utah the recruiting access of the Big 12 or the SEC and watch what happens.
Yeah. I think it's easy to
By the way, I would take Kyle Whittingham over Kirby Smart. I would.
I would too.
Every day.
I would too. Drew Christensen, my guess would be that Utah's recruiting along the lines of even if the pack doesn't last, will be the top dog contenders in the Big 12, no problem. Maybe, yeah. Maybe. I don't know.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if you think about, you have to have a backup plan, a contingency plan.
You do.
An option B to the TV deal not working out. Like, you have to allow your Kyle Whittinghams, your primes, like you have to allow these guys to do their job. And the only way to do that right now is say, yeah, hey, if the TV deal doesn't work out, we're going to the Big 12.
Yep.
That's it.
I don't disagree. Let's see. Truck Stop Gumby says cow turd. Still the best part of that whole thing.
Cow turd.
Cougar Track says Utah. Laura Weiss, how the heck are you? Is that Phyllis? I heard she died. She did die.
How dare you?
She did die.
Kiss my butt.
Several weeks ago.
Roll Tide.
Yeah, she was. So Phyllis was a caller on the Feinbaum show, and she's legendary. I mean, she was just such an entertaining part of sports talk in the South, and her ongoing battle with Cowherd and.
Turd.
I loved every minute of it, and that's why we use.
Turd is a legendary.
That's why we use the drops. It's not we're not mocking her.
Yeah,
I mean we are that's a tip of the cap.
Nick Saban is a better man than you are. A cow turd.
And she has a certain cadence about her. Than you are.
Nick Saban is
a better man than you are. It's amazing.
The dynasty is not over.
She's amazing, dude. Jeremy Callahan says, "Hail Saban."
Nick Saban is a better man than you are.
Nate Davis, Utah speeding for national championship run. That's why Zach Wilson's brother, Isaac Wilson, I think Utah will be okay in the Big 12. They will be okay.
Yeah.
They will be. Simon says, I think we ought to take Oregon State and let Utah play wherever they want. I think if you take Oregon State over Utah, you're crazy. You are crazy. You're absolutely crazy.
You're out of your freaking mind.
Blazed Bunny says Clay Helton is one more Rose Bowls than Kyle Whittingham. So let me get this right. You'd rather have Clay Helton than Kyle Whittingham? No, I'm waiting for your answer. Go right ahead.
No, I'm not doing that.
Who's taking Clay? Like this, with all due respect, Blaze Bunny, I think this is probably the first time you've ever been here. This is a dumb comment. This is the... hey, I want to seem smart. Let me throw out Clay.
Back to the envelope calculations.
It's exactly what this is. Little Jizzy says anybody can recruit anywhere. Well, not necessarily, and I don't agree with you. Jeremy Callahan, quote, top dog contenders in the Big 12, no problem. Well, no problem. I don't know about no problem. I think Utah is, if Utah joins a Big 12 in 2024, a year from now, you will need to recruit another body across the starting 11.
Yeah.
You will need to be 4 deep at every single position. Your quarterback's got to be better. Your wide receivers got to be better. Your linemen got to be better across the board. I don't ever worry about defense with Kyle Whittingham.
Can't have the issues you've had in the backfield, man.
But you got to have the offensive line. You've got to have it. Have to have it. Carl Adams gives us $5. Say, imagine being Colorado and joining the Pac-12 for an LA connection, more money and stability than having none of it. And you got none of it.
Yeah.
You got none of it. But nobody's going to blame Colorado for what they did.
No.
The one you blame is Nebraska. The one you blame is Nebraska, because I think it's hysterical. I don't know, it was probably 5 years ago. John Wilner ripped me because I said, hey, Nebraska misses being in the Big 12. They miss being in the old Big 12. And Wilner's like, this is ridiculous. Okay. So what have we heard out of Nebraska? Yeah, we miss the Big 12. The payday's great, but we miss the culture. We miss the fit. We miss because what is Nebraska? Nebraska's this weird little enclave in the Big 10. Doesn't fit well, not comfortable, haven't won, haven't made money. You're just there.
You exist, that's it.
And now Trev Alberts comes in and hires Matt Rule. Now let's go play football. And let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Because the other thing nobody talks about with this Big Ten thing, USC's as good as Ohio State. Because I am not a Jim Harbaugh believer, but you better bet your bottom dollar that USC is as good as Ohio State is.
It's a little shocking to hear first, right? Like, wait, what do you mean USC's as good? But they are.
I'm telling you.
They are.
They're as good. And I think USC can recruit better. I think USC can win big games. I think the defensive overhaul we saw this summer, this offseason, from coaching staff to recruiting to portal to portal going out, portal coming in.
We built this program on NIL.
I'm telling you now that the last stand of the Pac-12 might be national championship in South Central Los Angeles.
What a story that would be. Think about that.
Because, I mean, I think there are very few people who doubt. I think Lincoln's got the most talented roster in the country.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it. I get it. You're Georgia, you're Bama, you're USC. The overhaul at USC has been nothing short of remarkable. And I think they took some cover under Dion's darkness.
Yeah.
But you go look at the numbers. USC ain't that far off of what Colorado did.
Mm-hmm.
Go look at the numbers. Go look at the ins and outs. And tell me that USC and Colorado are vastly different. Because they're not. And I think that the biggest game of the year is SC and Utah. That's it. That's the if SC wants to win a national championship, dude,
got to come through Rice Eccles, man.
You're going to have to go through Kyle Whittingham's defense to do it.
Yep.
And I'm just telling you right now, that's an awfully difficult trick to turn. And when you look at their schedule, and it's San Jose State, Nevada, Stanford, bye week in week 3. Arizona State on the road, Colorado on the road. That's 5-0.
That is a long run, though, there through the middle.
Arizona, that's a win. At Notre Dame, we'll find out. That's a win. Then there's that little game on Saturday, October 21st. That's going to be a primetime game at night. October 21st. And you're going to have to beat Kyle Whittingham.
Yeah, do we get more crying Caleb Williams, or do we get winning Natty vibes?
I think if the game was in Salt Lake City, you'd get crying Caleb Williams. But that's just my opinion, man. And, I mean, Cal Washington at Oregon obviously is a huge game. But I'm not a Bo Nix believer. UCLA should be a huge game. But I'm also a believer that UCLA is not as good as they were last year. The question is, what's the hole in what game's missing? Well, Oregon State's missing, which isn't out for sure, because I think Oregon State's going to be a real ball buster this year. And then, of course, on December 1st, on a Friday, December 1st, because why wouldn't you if you're the Pac-12? You're going to play for a conference championship.
On a Friday.
And if we're lucky enough, we'll get round 4 of USC and Utah. There's a loss on that schedule. Where is it? There's not 2. All things being equal and everybody being healthy, there's not 2.
Yeah.
There's a loss in that USC schedule.
Yep.
I'm telling you that right now.
But you can work with one loss. One loss is fine. As far as national championship, one loss is fine. You're okay there.
We'll see. I just don't know. We'll see. I think it's going to be very interesting to see exactly how USC goes through this
Is
year.
your path to the Natty not easier in the Big Ten?
Yeah. Gary says we get more painted nails, Caleb Williams.
Treat snoring and sleep apnea with no masks and no tubes. Just better, healthier sleep with Sound Sleep Medical. Use code Monty, M-O-N-T-Y, to schedule a free sleep assessment today.
I mean, how many guys have won the Heisman Trophy twice? Because I think he's got a real chance to win it twice, not once, twice.
Hey, he's got a better shot this year than he did last year, for sure. For sure.
I mean, if this truly is the last year of the Pac-12, Jesus, this could be unbelievable. Like, have you guys thought about that? Like, and I know we talk about this expansion stuff all the time. This could be the last college football season in the Pac-12's history. The last one. Now, do I think that's likely? Doomsday clock feels like it's pushing a little further up.
Yeah.
Do I think that's likely? I don't.
Now, 2 weeks from now, 2 weeks from now, you don't have a deal? Doomsday clock's getting real close.
I think if this is probably too much. I think if we get to the RSL match on June 10th and everybody's still intact, I think there's a real chance you can survive. I think when we get to June 10th and there's been movement, I think you're in trouble. Because I think there's not going to be, and I mean, I know we've talked about this before. There's not going to be one school that's going to be like, oh, Colorado left. Bummer, dude.
Me?
They're going to leave in a group. Because all them folks in Boulder, those are wildly intelligent people, and they don't want to be the ones that tore down the Pac-12.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that Arizona State, that a group of these teams. And if you're Washington, I think Washington State's the real question. What happens to Washington State?
Mountain West.
They are a mess in Pullman. They are a mess with this hiring freeze. And
You're talking about running your athletic program $70+ million.
And it doesn't feel like you have two nickels to rub together, dude.
No.
How is that possible? And I understand you have this your former football coach that's suing you, and I understand, like, dude, I get it. I understand. And everybody wants to talk about economies. Comcast, I believe, is now on the record saying they're not going to pay the Pac-12 until they make their $50 million back. It's $4 million a school out the window. That's a $4 million paycheck.
It is what it is.
Think about that, guys.
How do you make that mistake?
If you're Washington State and you're in a spending and hiring freeze, we tweeted out and showed you the statement on the show last week, exclusively, the internal memo that showed, hey, no hiring, no spending, and now you've got to give away $4 more million. And when I say give away, you're not getting that. That's coming out of your they're not giving it to you and you're going to rebate it. They're cutting it off your check.
I try to stay calm and not curse.
Imagine that 20% of your paycheck just got lopped off, and still got to pay the light bill and the rent, right? Still got to buy Oreos for little Tommy.
Yeah, it looks like we're not going to get shoulder pads this year. Looks like, hey, the team meal is going to be not as nice.
Yeah, we're going to have Olive Garden. And only breadsticks, and it's not even marinara. It's breadsticks and ranch. We can't afford the marinara, boys. And I would get you, I'm happy to get you Alfredo, but no chicken. We can't.
Certainly not shrimp.
We can't. Excuse me, sir. You say inflammatory things like that. If you want shrimp, you get your ass up to Seattle and go to Washington.
You know.
In the Pacific time zone.
Oh, you fucking ass. Why? Why? You were doing so well. You know why? Because Jake had bucked up today.
That's
buckshot. Right. See, the energy picks up. The mentality picks up. We're all feeling good. You guys, if you haven't done buckshot yet, look, man, I'm telling you right now. Okay, let's turn it this way. There you go. If you haven't done one of these buckshots yet, you guys, you're crazy. You're out of your mind. They lift you mentally. And now everybody says, oh, caffeine, Monty, can I get 150 trillion milligrams?
You're out of your freaking mind.
It's 100 milligrams of caffeine. It's clean, long-lasting energy that'll take you all day long. And you're not going to have to worry about sleeping. You're not going to have to worry about jitters. It just gives you a mental lift. So if you get back from lunch and you're sitting at your desk and you're like, damn, dude, I'm carb crashing because we had that chicken Alfredo at Olive Garden. Go ahead and drop yourself a buckshot from Bucked Up. And you know what? Don't pay for it. Let us pick up the nickel, bro. Because we're giving. We're giving. We want to give you 6 free buckshots. What's our word for it? No, friends. Go into the description below on this show and click free samples, 6 free buckshot. You know what else you should do while you're there? Get the free samples of the sampler pack of the Bucked Bar, the Buck Bar from Bucked Up. Better yet, why don't you join us this Saturday? Why don't you join me this? Let me single up because some people don't care about this show. Why don't you join me this Saturday in Orem? I'm going to be hanging out at the warehouse sale at the corporate headquarters at Bucked Up. They're having their warehouse sale this weekend. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be a lot of fun. Great deals, you guys, to be had by everybody. I'm telling you, the Bucked Up warehouse sale is nothing short of spectacular. And it is one of those events that happens every year, and you don't want to miss it because it's things like Pixie Pump being on sale that are spectacular. It's things like Jake blowing it off and not going because he's got other plans.
Waves in opposition.
How's that working out for you?
Where do you don't leave me anywhere to go there, dude?
What do you mean?
Like, you don't leave me anywhere to go. Like, come on, dude.
Gotta be fucking kidding me.
I'm not.
Like, what am I supposed to do with that?
Well, you know.
Yeah, I mean, what am I supposed to do with that, dude?
Guy, you do what you need to do.
It's a soft person tendency.
You do. You do what you need to do. Okay. I will be at the warehouse sale at Bucked Up. It's going to be amazing, you guys. I am so looking forward to it. If you don't follow Bucked Up on Instagram, Twitter, you guys are missing out. I'm telling you right now, their warehouse sale is freaking amazing. Great deals. So do yourself a favor and get the free buckshot. Get the free buck bars. And I'll have a lot more details for you on the Bucked Up warehouse sale coming up this weekend. Bucked Up, the official energy provider of the Monty Show.